Good morning. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, and the date is December 28, 2021. It's a Tuesday, and we welcome you to the program Agenda. I'm your host, Cito Beltran, and thank you for being subscribers of Cignal TV and viewers of One News PH. Thank you also to PLDT for their continued support of the program and our internet service requirements via fiber optic. Magaling, mabilis at maasahan. Okay, today let's start the day with our daily starter, which comes from the book Dr. Seuss, the illustrated cartoon type storytelling book. The more that you read, the more things you will know, the more that you learn, the more places you'll go. It's a good way to start the day and remind us to go back to our reading habits. There is one big advantage when you train yourself and your children to be readers. You are not easily swayed, you are not easily fooled by electronic data. Too many of us have become dependent on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and many have stopped reading. I, for one, have really been low on that part, but I've made a commitment to start reading again. And I do encourage our viewers, please read more, because as you read, you can go through the facts one by one, learn the story, pick up everything instead of just glancing through or just listening on your earphones. So I hope you will take that to heart. The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. Okay, now let's go to the Philippine Star front page today, December 28, 2021. And the headline is Private Hospitals Set PhilHealth Holiday. The Association of Private Hospitals in the Philippines, or PHAPI, has decided to declare a PhilHealth holiday, meaning they will disengage with PhilHealth for a period of 7 days starting January. I believe it's January 1 to January 7, in support, as their show of support for 7 hospitals in Iloilo that have already declared their disengagement with PhilHealth, which was followed by the Far Eastern University. On the part of the PhilHealth, their spokesperson issued a statement that the Association of Private Hospitals should take into consideration the benefit of the Filipino people who will suffer. In case you are wondering what will be the result of this PhilHealth holiday, or if the hospitals eventually disengage from PhilHealth, if you go to the hospital and you are a PhilHealth member, the hospital is not going to do the deduction or the 20 or is it 30% deduction of your PhilHealth membership from your total bill. You will have to go to PhilHealth and file directly with PhilHealth. So PhilHealth will have a ton of paperwork. They will become so backlogged. I don't think their board of directors will stay in office for the until 2022. But it is going to be misery guts for a lot of people. Don't blame the hospitals, because many hospitals now are down to the bone. They don't have enough nurses. A lot of my friends are pointing out that they can't get enough attention in the hospital. So PhilHealth, get your act together. And at the top of the front page, the 4th case of Omicron in the Philippines was detected from a traveler from the United States. It's a she, a female traveler who had visited relatives and presumably got Omicron COVID-19 in the U.S. and was actually tested at the airport, put in quarantine, and only after her test results came out was it determined that her COVID case was Omicron. She was tested upon arrival, quarantine, so everything is okay. It's just that the sequencing revealed it's Omicron and not Delta. Okay. Now, for those of you who made the habit of listening to or reading the daily COVID case bulletin of the Department of Health, that report or that bulletin will no longer be available. Instead, you will have to go to www.doh.gov.ph. Okay, this was announced by the Department of Health through Secretary Maria Rosario Berheri, Undersecretary Maria Rosario Berheri, and it is intended to streamline the public communication case bulletin, etc., etc. Meanwhile, in the inside pages of the Philippine Star, it was noted that the cases of COVID in Metro Manila has gone up, and there's now a daily average of 100 daw. Okay. Now, restoration is being rushed on the right side of the front page of the Philippine Star. Restoration is being rushed in many parts of the Visayas. And in this particular photo on the upper right hand in Metro Cebu, linemen are working so hard to restore electricity so that they will have electricity in the first week of January 2022 in time for the Sinulog Festival. Meanwhile, that photo in the middle of the Philippine Star front page is a picture of Mali, the controversial 47-year-old Sri Lankan elephant at the Manila Zoo. And that photo is a feature in relation to the partial light opening of the Manila Zoo. Okay, so pwede nang pumunta sa Manila Zoo, but it is going to be for families who will be treated as VIP guests, okay, for yung mga construction workers. Okay, now, there is a reported diarrhea gastrointestinal flu outbreak in Dinagat and Siargao as expected because of the typhoon impact of Typhoon Odette. There's been no power, disrupted power supply or water supply, and now there have been numerous cases of diarrhea, 80 cases of gastrointestinal enteritis at the hospitals in Dinagat Island, and 54 cases of diarrhea in Siargao. Okay, so yung bang mga naghahanap ng COVID-19 tally of Philippine cases, yesterday the tally was at 318 active new cases. Number of deaths were 11 and the recovery is 255. Meanwhile, the Philippine population is seen to be at the lowest, we'll see its lowest increase in 75 years, according to the Commission on Population and Development. Okay, there was only a 0.3% hike, okay, in the recent tally, and it is very, very low compared to the projected or expected increase of 1.63 or several millions. Matipid kayong mag-baby during COVID. Okay. Meanwhile, the Commission on Election identifies 7 regions for mock polls. They will simulate elections in 7 regions, and these will be held in the provinces of Isabela, Albay, Negros Oriental, Leyte, Maguindanao, and Davao del Sur, including the NCR, etc., etc. But that all depends on the situation due to the damage brought by Typhoon Odette. The Philippine Star, meantime, the Philippine Star's Damayan program, its foundation, has Operation Damayan joined on Christmas Day, a feeding project of the Cofraida de San Jose of Our Lady of the Holy Rosary Parish, Inayagan, Cebu, for some 300 families. And that photo there on the bottom of the Philippine Star front page shows 6-liter bottles of water being handed out to mostly mothers, kasi mas kailangan nila yung tubig, okay? And that's in Cebu. Now, last but not the least, we have DOH cautioning local government units on jobs for kids 5 to 11. Okay, we want to remind LGU and vaccination sites that we cannot yet start the vaccination of 5 to 11 years old. We have to wait for guidelines, for the recommendation of our experts. Okay, and that's the problem there. That in itself tells us that the national government needs to get its act together regarding communications, because there's so many confusion about uh, health protocols, vaccination procedures, even travel documents. Marami na pong naiinis. Okay, that's our front page wrap up of the Philippine Star today, December 28, 2021. Later today, I will be getting, along with my wife, our third booster shot. And medyo huli na po kami kasi bumiyahe muna bago magpa-booster. But I do encourage everyone, please get your booster shot if you're scheduled for a booster shot. And if you've not been vaccinated, please get vaccinated, because I have been counting friends, many of them anti-vaxxers, who have died in the last month. They died because they didn't get the vaccine. It was a choice, and the choice was permanent. Okay, now let's go to our first guest for today. We have someone who is, during his term as a senator, was an achiever, was responsible for giving us a lot of very liberating legislation for kasambahays, for the universal health. And it's timely that we have him today, because as I read in the front page, the hospitals have declared a PhilHealth holiday. Let's bring in former mayor of San Juan, congressman, former congressman of the Lone District of San Juan, former senator, none other than Senator JV Ejercito. Good morning, Mr. Senator.
Yes, good morning, Cito. Cito, good morning to all your viewers as well. Good morning.
Okay, good morning. Matanong ko lang, Senator JV, what are your reactions? What's your reaction regarding the declaration of the Philippine Private Hospitals Association of the Philippines to disengage with PhilHealth, even on a symbolic manner?
Well, this is a very, very sad development, no? Especially, Cito, with the pandemic that we are fighting the COVID virus until now. But actually, Cito, it's not only the Philippines who is struggling, no, to fight this virus. The whole world, no, was caught by surprise. Even Europe, the United States, is having a hard time fighting this pandemic. But this development will not, in a way, improve the situation. As you see, my regret of not being in the Senate right now as the principal sponsor of the Universal Healthcare Law. No, unfortunately, Sito, that the first year of the implementation of the UHC, it was the first year. It was the year also that the pandemic struck the world. No, so parang the timing was not really good, but actually, the UHC was instrumental in helping a lot of COVID patients. So in the past 2 years,
Mhm.
they have uh, they have through the UHC, a lot of COVID patients were covered. No, most of their hospital expenses, and probably this is the reason probably why field health probably is overwhelmed right now, processing all of these papers. No, but still, it's not an excuse. It's a management issue, Sito, and I have been consistent ever since, even before the UHC was passed. I have been very vocal that someone uh, who should be appointed to PhilHealth should be fund managers or finance persons with actuarial knowledge, because PhilHealth, more than a health agency, is more of a fund management. No? Kailangan po rin talaga rito mayroong actuarial knowledge and financial background, no, so that
Mhm.
it will be managed. But unfortunately, Sito, universal healthcare its main agency is PhilHealth, and we have no choice because we only have one national health insurance. Unlike other countries, they have two or three. PhilHealth really has to work. No, the management, the reforms has to be instituted, and but it takes a lot. Sito, it's not only PhilHealth's fault. Probably it takes ano yung mga, I don't know if you can recall, no, yung mga scams and scandals that have
Yeah.
plagued the agency, no, yung mga cataract scam, upcasing of
Mhm.
cases. But this is a collusion. It's not only PhilHealth at fault. It's a collusion. Sometimes probably hospitals, doctors, and PhilHealth personnel. So I I would think that dapat may masampulan talaga dito, no? Na those who were
Okay.
involved in the collusion, because we are bleeding the agency dry, no? That the meager funds that we have, we are not a rich nation, should be going to those who really need it. So we really have to plug up those holes, and it's not only millions, ha. Sometimes it goes to up to billions, no? Yung mga upcasing, um, cataract scam and other scams that have plagued the agency. So
Uh,
I
yeah.
think reforms has to be instituted.
As you mentioned, it's not unique to the Philippines dahil nung nilabas naman yung Medicare in the United States, the Medicare program was robbed blind even by doctors in the US, all of these scams. Actually, kung tutusin, parang ginaya lang ng mga scammer sa Pilipinas yung mga scams sa Amerika and in Europe. Now, the question, the bigger question that I picked up this morning, Senator, is it still an issue of fund management? Because we have to be fair to PhilHealth and to the hospitals. Talagang when COVID-19 struck, we basically ended up with a national hospital bill that is maybe 3 times or 10 times bigger than we normally
Yes.
use. But one would notice that parang hindi naman nilakihan yung budget ng PhilHealth. Parang, tipirin ninyo, o patagalin ninyo, or pahabain. And the hospitals naman, sorry, maikli na rin ang PC namin, bye-bye, kanya-kanya na tayo. What's your reaction to the fact that fund injections did not seem to come in as much as the volume of cases?
Well, you're correct, Sito. I share the same position, no, that I feel that PhilHealth was overwhelmed because of the number of cases. As you said, baka nag-triple na yung hospital bills. That is correct. Um, but my regret really of not being in the Senate, Sito, right now, is
Mhm.
being the principal sponsor
Yeah.
of the universal healthcare law. I know the intent, I know the purpose and the history, and uh, I have to be honest. Of course, if this is your, if you were the principal sponsor, baby mo, this is your baby, and
Oh.
you will make sure that the budget needed, especially in this time of pandemic, will be scrutinized, and you will make sure that it will be funded, especially in the implementation, and you have to really anticipate that. As you said, baka mag-double or triple now the hospital bills because of
Mhm.
this pandemic. So probably that's what I really regret of not being in the Senate right now. As vice chair of the Committee on Finance, also, I would have, if had I been there, I would really try to source other source of funds so that PhilHealth could be augmented. The PhilHealth's fund, no, especially in this
Mhm.
time of emergency, we have passed a lot of laws, no, Bayanihan and others, because of this pandemic. We should be allotting a lot for PhilHealth so that the services that are needed, especially in this time, will be delivered. No,
Okay.
yun, I think it's possible. No? You can really source of funds, and probably you can make sacrifices elsewhere, but you cannot compromise health issues, especially universal healthcare.
Okay, now as far as getting back into the Senate is concerned, honestly speaking, how do you gauge your chances? Because a lot of people are wondering, is Senator JV playing poker? Parang hindi ka namin nadidinig, nakikita masyado sa radar, but you seem to be all over the place, and there is a worry, to be honest, there is a concern that with two ejercitos or Estrada sons running again, baka mangyari is a repeat of the last senatorial race. Has there been a gentleman's agreement or kanya-kanya na ba? Or isa sa inyo magpalit na lang ng pangalan? I even heard magpapalit ka raw yata ng alias or something. What's the story, Senator?
Well, you are correct, Sito. No? I have to be honest with you that I feel that I'm in an uphill battle. This will be very tough election for me, just like 2019. As you said, the circumstances are the same because having two brothers running at the same time for a national election is really very tough. No? There will be
Mhm.
confusion. People will just choose sometimes. But unfortunately, we did not reach an agreement. Hindi pa rin kami nagkasundo. No? He has his reasons for running. I have my reasons for running. And honestly, I really thought about not running for the Senate anymore for this election because I know it will be a repeat of 2019. But Sito, because of this pandemic, it exposed the weaknesses of our healthcare system. No, all of these problems, inadequate health facilities, pag may surge, no,
Mhm.
we lack hospital rooms. People, even in critical conditions, cannot get rooms. We have problems with health workers. So that was the time, Sito, that I decided as principal sponsor of the Universal Healthcare Law. I know in my heart that had if implemented properly and given priority, the UHC will be very, very instrumental in fighting this pandemic, in fighting this virus. No? So all of
Mhm.
these problems, inadequate health facilities, problems with health workers, all of these are given priority in the Universal Healthcare Law. Kailangan na talaga bigyan ng priority, kailangan na bigyan ng importance. All of these budget scrutineering, it has to be funded properly, allotment, dapat magkaroon to make sure that the services will be delivered. So, Sito, I know it's an uphill battle for me because of the circumstances I am in. I mean, having two brothers running at the same time is really very, very difficult. But I feel that it's my mission, it's my
Mhm.
obligation to complete the full implementation of the Universal Healthcare Law. It's a work in progress, Sito. It's not na pagkapasa nito, magic, maganda na lahat yung healthcare
Mhm.
system natin. No, it's a 5 to 10 year program. So I feel that as the principal sponsor, it will be instrumental if the wisdom of the sponsor will be there, especially in its early stage, early stage of implementation.
What are the sectors that have strongly have expressed their strong support for you? Because I remember in the early, in your early days in the Senate, Congress, if I'm not mistaken, you are also the author of the Kasambahay Law, are you not?
Yes, I'm an author
Oh,
in Congress. So
hmm,
this time, I in the Senate, I was able to pass a lot of significant laws, but
hmm,
I'll just mention two, no, two of the
oh,
landmark laws. Of course, the Universal Healthcare Law and the creation of the Department of Human Settlements or Housing, no, which has
hmm,
been in the works for the past 30 years. So when I assumed as chair of the Committee on Housing, I was able to pass it also. So we now have a full-fledged Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development or Housing right now in the Senate. So these are two landmark laws that I was able to pass. And I feel, Sito, that those in the housing sector, CREBA, social housing developers, they are very much supportive of me. And in the UHC, in the medical field, I'm quite sure that a lot of medical organizations, no, are very, very supportive and have been encouraging me because they know that the universal healthcare law is a step in the right direction. It may not be perfect. It may be experiencing birth pains right now, but I think it's a giant leap forward towards our goal of having a genuine universal healthcare law that seeks to give access to good quality healthcare for all Filipinos without the financial burden. No, that
Yeah.
is the real
Sen,
intent of the law.
I noticed just reviewing all of your legislative activities. Ang style mo para kang one time, big time. You craft one law, but it is a law na with a big time effect. Or katulad nung pinush ninyo, yung kasambahay law. Iisang batas dyan, sumikat ka dyan sa isang batas na yan, pero yung impact niyan, maraming mga katulong, kasambahay na nakinabang. It gave them, it gave them recognition. It placed a standard of compensation, and it was very beneficial to the rights and benefits of kasambahay. Then you were the principal author of the Universal Healthcare Law. Now, merong isang area na frustrated ang maraming kakilala ko na mga kabaro mo, as they would say, mga nagmumotor, mga bikers na especially in the metro areas of the country where we have failed, or the DPWH, DILG, MMDI have failed to put up dedicated motorcycle lanes, and then yung mga tungkol sa plaka, pati ikaw na-crucify dahil dyan sa plaka na yan. And
Yes.
recently, Senator Gordon went on the warpath again. What promise or expectations can the biking community, which is millions and millions in the Philippines, what can they expect from a Senator JV in Senate?
Well, you are correct, Sito. I think I took the brunt of that in 2019. No, parang ako po yung pinakamasamang rider na at that time,
Mhm.
because for most of some riders, they feel that because I signed in the Senate's version, it was already the approval. But Sito, it was my strategy, no, because of course, as a rider, I was not in favor of doble placa because I know that it will be dangerous. But I was trying to present an alternative so that when the Senate version goes to the BICAM, I wanted to present an alternative. Hopefully, when
Mhm.
they choose, baka sabihin, this may be better. No, I was proposing the RFID scanner system. No, wherein
Mm.
instead of the front plates, we will be putting RFID stickers in front, so that what I had in mind was to minimize, if not eliminate, discrimination on road the riding community, especially when it comes to checkpoints, so that all of the data, OR, CR,
Mhm.
license, even vaccination card can already be inputted in the RFID, so that when they pass through the scanner and through the checkpoints, the police officers will now have scanners. No, they will just scan the
Mhm.
RFID. So pag nag-green, go lang ng go, no? And then those yung mag-red lang, that's the only motorcycle that will be stopped. And unlike now, Sito, probably you can notice that, especially entering Metro Manila or other provinces, when there is a checkpoint, all of the motorcycles are
Yeah.
stopped. They go down, they bring out the OR, CR, they have to go, their license, everything, minsan nakakapkapan pa. So that was what I had in mind, no? The
Mhm.
discrimination of the riding community. So I had two things in mind, to pass this, and then probably I was hoping that instead of the doble placa itself, I was hoping that the RFID scanner system would suffice, no, as an alternative when they
Mhm.
discussed this in the BICAM. Unfortunately, I am not a member of the BICAM, but I just presented an alternative. And Sita, during that time also, I was deliberating on the Universal Healthcare Law. I was deliberating on the creation of Department of Human Settlement. So I had my hands full that I was not able to attend any of Senator Gordon's hearings.
Mhm.
So again, I want to make it clear to the riders, hindi rin ako pabor sa doble plaka, but ang gusto kong i-present ay isang alternatibo, doble solusyon. Isa yung doble plaka, ay sa halip na doble plaka, RFID scanner na lang para mas madali. At pangalawa, yung diskriminasyon sa riding community ay gusto nating mabawasan, kung hindi maalis, no, through the RFID scanner system.
Okay, now that you are making a go for the Philippines, for the Senate, what will be your principal legislative agenda and what's your plan of attack if you are willing to share?
Well, Tito, I think priorities right now is really we have to survive first, no? We have to survive this pandemic. We have to fight this COVID. So that is the reason actually why I decided, even given the difficult circumstances I'm in an uphill battle, but this what made me decide to go for it because I know that the universal healthcare law, when implemented properly, can really be instrumental in fighting this COVID and pandemic. No, that is number one.
What? Mhm.
Yes, Zito. Second,
Go
of
ahead. Go
course,
ahead.
yung another the other law that I just passed, the creation of Department of Human Settlements or Housing, no, is in its early stages, also experiencing birth pains. I think the wisdom again of the principal sponsor will be, it will be crucial, no, in its formative years. And third probably is the my advocacy. We have discussed this several times. Yung pong infrastructure development, transport modernization. I used to defend most of the build projects of the OTR, yung pong North Rail system, Clark International Airport, the upgrading of the different airports all over the country into night capability and modernization, the Mindanao Railway system. I have always been an advocate of transport modernization. So I think this will still be very crucial so that we can become attractive again, hopefully when the world opens up its economy again. No? Sana
Yeah.
nakahabol na tayo by the time.
You
No?
mentioned you mentioned the southern part of the Philippines. In the notes provided to me, you are supposedly in support of the Negros Island Development Project na parang na-shelved ng Duterte administration. Why has this become of particular interest to you?
Well, Sito, I have to be honest with you. I'm quite biased because my mother is from Negros, number
Oh,
one.
mhm.
Yes, my mother is from Bacolod. She's an Ilongga. And I have always been supportive of Negros, especially yung pong Sugarcane Industry Development Act. I was also the principal author in the Senate of this measure aimed in reviving the sugar industry. I am supportive of the Negros Island region, which they have been proposing so that services will be better and more efficient. No? So yung Panay and Negros will now be separated. No? Yung Negros Island, Negros Occidental and Oriental will be one region so that we're hoping that the bureaucracy will be better, will function better. So that is the proposal of the provincial governments of Negros. So of course, as a
Mhm.
Negrense, having a Negrense blood, I have to support. No, if it will mean improve and it will hasten development of Negros Island, then I am for it.
You know, recently there were photos of the Visayas that was badly destroyed, that was badly affected, destroyed by Typhoon Odette. And napag-usapan na naman ulit yung mga electrification program, water works, etc. And in a recent discussion that I was part of, the solar power facilities came up, and everyone in the room basically said, you know, the government does nothing but tax all of this solar equipment. They should just open it up, make it tax-free para yung mga probinsya natin ay magkaroon ng libreng kuryente, hindi umaasa sa mga power generation, etc. And pag may bagyo, madaling itayo. What is your sentiment regarding this, Senator?
Well, of course, renewable energy, which includes solar powered energy, is a very good alternative. No,
Mhm.
it's a good complement actually. But Sito, I we cannot rely on renewable energy alone because intermittent po ito. No, we cannot
Mhm.
rely on them all the time like wind, yung pong hydroelectric, yung mga windmills and solar. They will be good as a supplement
Mhm.
to the whole power generation industry. But we still have to build new base load plants also if we really want to
Well, that's
develop
a
and
given.
industrialize.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
a given. But you know, if you look at the photos in the Visayas, na we are so down on the ground in the out there na pati yung pag-charge na lang ng cellphone pahirapan na. And people are saying, sana man lang kung yung mga ganong mga products, i-tax free na. I mean, kumbaga ano, parang cellphone na lang ba? Na, you know, it's such a basic thing. The government should not put its fingers, you know, in terms of duties and taxes anymore. So Filipinos can, in the provinces, will have a better access to electricity. Pati yung mga nasusunugan, you're from San Juan, and I'm, you know, Addition Hills. Every year, pinagdadasal ko nga na pagtungtong ng January, wala na naman sunog dyan. And, di ba? And it's all about overload in the wires or someone lighting a candle. And I've tested this. We use solar power in the farm. And sabi ko, why is this not being introduced or being established in the country?
Well, I agree with you. I hope that there will be more solar power farms. No? But I have seen a lot, no, already in Subic, in Tarlac, even in Valenzuela. No, they have
Mm-hmm.
allotted spaces for solar panels. No, marami na,
Mm-hmm.
I think I have seen also some windmills
Mm-hmm.
being established. And I agree with you. I think tax breaks should be given to REs, no, para so that people will be encouraged, investors will be encouraged to put them up, no, as
Ay, pati
additional
na sa ano, Senator,
incentives.
pati na sa ano, retail level. Kasi katulad ng mga driver mo, mga, 'di ba, mga maid, mga farmers, makapaglagay sila ng kuryente sa bahay nila na hindi buwan-buwan nagbabayad sila ng electric bill. Anyway, sorry. You know, I was just reminded because of that. Anyway, we're down to our last 3 minutes, Senator. Any message or things you want to share with our viewers?
Well, first of all, Cito, thank you for this opportunity, no, that I was able to air my side on a lot of pressing issues, no. But I am hoping that people will consider me again for the Senate, no. First of all, I'm quite proud that in my performance in the Senate, I was able to pass a lot of significant laws. Of course, the two landmark laws, no, Universal Healthcare Law and creation of the Department of Human Settlements. But more importantly, Sito, I'm proud that in my 18 years of being a public servant, 9 years as mayor, 3 years as congressman, and 6 years as a senator, I have no issues on corruption, scandals, or scams. I have kept my name clean. My integrity is undamaged up to now. But more importantly, Sito, I'm seeking the support of the people. I just hope that they will allow me or let me finish the implementation of the universal healthcare law. Although it was passed already, again it's a work in progress. So I feel that as the principal sponsor who knows the history, the purpose, and intent of the law, I feel it's my mission to really complete this. I know that this can be very, very helpful and instrumental in fighting this COVID pandemic so that we will be able to survive. So with that,
Okay.
again, Cito, I'd like to thank all of you. Thank you very much also for giving me this opportunity.
Para dun po sa mga nakakuha ng 30% discount sa PhilHealth itong mga nakaraang taon, si JV Ejercito po, pasalamatan ninyo. Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Senator JV. Have a happy new year, and I do pray and hope you make it to the Senate this time around. God bless you.
Thank you.
Okay, that's Senator JV Ejercito making a return of the comeback to the Philippine Senate. And fair is fair, he was an author of the Kasambahay Law that helped a lot of maids find dignity in their work, mga drivers, because they were given legislative recognition plus standards in their pay and benefits. We have the universal healthcare law that made made medical service hospitalization accessible para sa lahat. And hindi na po kasalanan ni JB Ejercito kung hindi masyadong nailatag yung patakaran because unfortunately, the votes got split in the last Senate run, and JB did not make it to the Senate on a second shot. So maybe this time he'll get, excuse me, he'll get his chance, and we hope to see him come up with even newer one-time, big-time laws as he is prone to do. Well, hindi siya yung maingay, I made 1,000 bills, pero pag gumawa ng bill, swak. Okay, let's go for a quick break, and when we return, we will talk electricity in the Visayas. We will speak with the representative of the Aboitis Power Group and find out kamusta na ba ang kuryente sa Visayas. Malungkot madilim pa rin ba? Or is there a hopeful new year waiting for around the corner? We'll be right back here on Agenda. Welcome back to the program agenda. I'm your host, Cito Beltran. Thank you for watching us via channels 8 and 250 and being subscribers of Cignal TV. And we would also like to thank PLDT for their continued support of the program. Now, right now, we are going to shift gears from politics. We will now go to power, electricity, power in the Visayas because, as you many of you know, the Typhoon Odette really ruined the Visayas region and even North Upper Mindanao. And there are many places that have no electricity. And one of the service providers or power generators distributor in the area is AboitizPower. It's the nation's leading renewable energy provider with balanced mixed portfolio in power generation, distribution, and retail electricity services. And from what I'm reading here, the Visayan Electric franchise targets to restore 80% of its power supply by January 10. Okay? Kahit nalampas na sa bagong taon, at least magkakuryente, hindi aabutin ng buwan-buwan. Okay, let's go to the spokesperson of Aboitis Power. We have Suiee Suarez here with us. Good morning, Suiee.
Good morning, Sito, and magandang umaga din sa mga subscribers nyo sa agenda. Good morning, everyone.
Okay, thank you for joining us. And first and foremost, kindly give us an update kasi medyo maraming nag-aalala ng mga kababayan, viewers, friends here in even Metro Manila and Luzon who are concerned for our kababayans in the Visayas. Will they continue to be in darkness? Will there be electricity, water, etc.? And you know, power is the essential component to get normalcy back on the ground. What's the situation, Suiee?
That's correct. Well, Sito, thank you for having me in the program, and salamat sa pagkakataon to provide some information to the viewers and listeners. No, as you mentioned, AboitizPower's subsidiary company is Visayan Electric. Ito yung distribution utility na nag-handle ng territory within Central Cebu. No? Ang sakop niya ay Cebu City, Mandawi City, Talisay City, and Naga City. No? Maliban doon, meron pang 4 na municipalities, that would be Liloan, Consolacion, Minglanilla, and San Fernando. The target of Visayan Electric is to restore 80% of the power to its customers by January 10. Also, interim, no, by the end of the year, no, the target is to get about 30% of the customers energized by then. And you mentioned, Sito, kanina, that power is really essential to many of the basic or the essential requirements of daily life, tulad ng tubig, and also hospitals. In fact, as soon as the typhoon passed, Typhoon Odette passed, the first priority was to energize the hospitals in Cebu. The first hospital that was energized, in fact, was Vicente Soto, which is the largest government hospital in Cebu City, and is the storage, no, for DOH no ating vaccines, no. And as of noontime yesterday, there are about 98,000, more than 98,000 customers have been energized. And in terms of the priority areas, no, the likes of hospitals and also water, as you mentioned, Ito, pag walang tubig, walang pag-pump ng malinis sa tubig, no. So importante din ang tubig. So just to update you and the viewers, no, as of yesterday, out of the 32 hospitals in the franchise area, 26 or about 80% have already been energized. That's for hospitals. For the Metro Cebu Water District pumping stations, out of 119, 49 of them have been energized. And sa Abejo Water Corporation, out of 22, 8 pumping stations have been energized. So unti-unti, no, starting with the most priority areas and circuits kung nasaan yung mga most basic services, doon nagsisimula ang energization. And the target is January 10, 80%.
So the action plan of Aboit is to electrify or to power up the essentials, hospitals, waterworks.
That's right.
But what about for the business? Because I mean, you are one of
Oh,
the
it's
respected business organizations in the country. So I'm sure your fellow business members of business are saying, "Hoy, kami naman para
that's true. That's true.
makapagnegosyo."
Oh, in fact, alam mo, it was Sunday when si Secretary Cusi paid the visit to Cebu. And then he also raised, no, and this goes without saying that there's already a lot of coordination between the business sectors. No? Ang isa sa mga request ng DOE was to energize the oil depots and the gas stations because, as you can see in many of the photographs that you'll see from Cebu, no, napakahaba ng
Mhm.
mga pila doon. But the thing there, of course, as you can see also from the pictures that you are flashing on the screen, yung trabaho goes day and night, no? Cito, day and night. Even
Mhm.
during Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, our linemen from Visayan Electric have been working. Ang magandang storya nga dito, Cito, is there's a lot of bayanihan going on here. Yung linemen ng Visayan Electric, as you can see in these pictures, no, there are about 300 of them, no, organic to the
Okay.
organization.
Mhm.
Alam mo, maraming mga iba't ibang mga distribution utilities and electric cooperatives from the other parts of the country, mga hindi masyado naapektuhan, they have sent, their men and equipment over to Cebu. Alam mo, we expect about a total of 182 linemen from different distribution utilities. And I'd like to mention them here and to thank them because sila yung tinatawag natin new frontliners ngayon eh.
Yeah.
So these are men who came from Meralco, Cepalco, San Fernando Electric, Angeles Electric, Dagupan Electric, Tarlac Electric, and Illegal Light. No?
Alam mo,
Maliban pa doon,
medyo tumatayo yung balahibo ko eh.
oo,
It makes you feel
they,
so proud that in the past, many decades, parang bala kayo sa buhay nyo. We have our own business to run.
oo,
But
no,
now,
hindi talaga.
Meralco, San Fernando Electric, lahat yan nagpapadala. Pati
Yes, yes,
MMDA nagpapadala na ng mga tao
yes.
para tumulong.
So, saka sila, they even brought their own bucket trucks. Diba? Imagine mo na lang Sito, the logistics. Sasakay nila yung mga tao nila and equipment onto the Roro, di ba, para makarating sa Cebu.
Mm.
Alam mo, talaga tunay yung pagturing sa kanila, the new frontliners. No? So,
Mhm.
it's really grateful for the help that they give.
Okay, but
Uh,
how are you guys? Just for our education, because it
mm,
happens here in the Luzon, it happens in Mindanao. This destruction of power lines and electricity service. How much damage does this cause to a power generator or to an electric company such as Aboitis? Ayoko na,
mm.
hindi ko na alam kung ano itatawag sa inyo kasi may
It's
renewable
both.
kayo.
Parehas,
Lahat eh.
parehas. Yeah, we do
Oh.
have power generation. We do have distribution utility.
Yeah.
No? So
But how
let's
much are
just
we talking about?
Yeah. We don't have the detailed engineering assessment kung magkano yung halaga niyan. However, based on the surveys that we do, we really focus on the repair work and the power restoration at the moment. Alam mo, every day, the numbers change. No? Pero as of yesterday, ang bilang ng mga poste lamang, no?
Mm.
560 posts. 560 posts were broken and require repair. Yung kuryente within the franchise area ng Visayan Electric, it's about 8,990 kilometers of power lines, Sito.
Wow.
That is if you string that, no, end to end, ang katumbas na haba niyan is from Opari to General Santos, back to Opari, back to General Santos, back to Opari. It's 4 times the length of the country of Philippines. So yung scale nung dapat asikasuhin ay napakalaki, and the number of people who are skilled and the amount of equipment that is available, no, also specialized equipment na nandyan,
Okay.
is very limited. But we do
Eh,
ask for the help of the LGUs, the barangays. Okay, we need help to clear the roads, clear
yeah.
the areas para pag nakarating yung ating linemen doon at yung linemen.
Sabi nga nila, Suiee, madaling magalit sa electric company pag dumadating yung bill mo. Pero pag wala kang
Hmm.
kuryente, lumuluhod ka at nagmamakawang bigyan niyo ako ng ilaw. And little do they know na ganyan pala kahaba ng kable. Twice the distance, 4 times the
It's four
distance
times the
from
length. No,
Apari hanggang Jensan
yes.
ang
Yeah.
papalitan and 500 plus posts. Okay,
Mm-mm.
we have to go for a quick break, Suiee, and please stay with us, and when we come back, pag-usapan pa natin to. We'll be right back here on Agenda.
Okay, Cito.
Okay, I just picked up here a note that there will be no billing for Visayan Electric customers of Aboitis. Let's go to their spokesperson. With us is Suiee Suarez. Suiee, I hope I read the right note here. Wala raw, wala raw munang billing para sa mga Visayan Electric customers. Totoo ba yun?
Well, all the latest updates in terms of billing at saka yung postponement or suspension of disconnection, it's posted every day, no, sa Visayan Electric Facebook page. So all the latest information is there. Yes. And also, by the way, pati yung updates kung anong mga lugar. Kasi alam mo, everyday sito, natural na to, no? Nagtatanong ating mga customers, kailan ba kami? No? Well, unang masasabi namin dun is, please, we ask for your patience and understanding. As I just related to you, Sito, no? The scale, no? Talaga ng trabaho ay napakalaki.
Yeah.
And of course, the priority in terms of public services is there, no? But unti-unti yan. So para siyang, we refer to it like para siyang skeleton, may backbone, and then may mga sanga-sanga, no? So once we get the backbones up and ready, the sanga-sanga follow.
Okay, now, I read earlier, January 10, 80%. Totoo ba yun?
That's right. That really is the target that we're working towards, no? And we really want to communicate this to provide some hope, no, for our customers. Alam mo, malibig doon, I'd like to mention also, January 10 might seem like a long time to go, but ang isa pang namin interim target is December 31, no? End of the year. End of the year, we target 30% restoration.
But
as of yesterday, noon time, 21%. End of the year, 30%.
In the meantime, what are you doing in terms of, anong tawag nun? Remedyo, ika nga sa Tagalog. Kumbaga, kasi there are many places that ni pang-charge ng solar, wala. There are many places na yung kanilang water utilities hindi makabomba ng tubig kasi walang kuryente. Do you have generators on trucks going around your area of customer areas para lang, okay boss, bukas po na umaga, nandyan yung genset namin, handaan nyo na lahat ng mga extension cord ninyo at saka mga charging cables nyo?
Well, alam mo, unang-una, nung nawala yung kuryente sa Cebu and the parts of the franchise area, when the power started to come on and nandun sa mga major thoroughfares, in fact, some of our offices and power plants, no, are charging stations. No? We have an interesting story is that meron kami isang power plant in Central Cebu. No, it's near downtown. It's in downtown. Ang barangay niya is Ermita. Yesterday pa lang, our representatives from our power plants businesses said that maliban sa charging station doon, alam mo may mga electric tricycles doon. And that became a charging station for electric tricycles. And then nakakapagbiyahe tuloy yung mga tao, no, sa parts ng downtown Cebu dahil doon. So that's one, no. And also I'd like to mention yung Aboitis. We have the Aboitis Foundation and the Ramon Aboitis Foundation. As of a few days ago, we've already raised 11.1 million pesos, no, to earmark that for the aid. Part of that is about 29,000, almost 30,000 food packs,
Mhm.
several dozens of generators. And also
Mhm.
there is meron din parang crowdsourcing component yon. It's in kinder.aboitis.com. Doon pa lang, a few days ago, 5.1 million pesos have
Okay.
been given by externals.
Well, Suiee, congratulations to AboitizPower for doing the best they can under the most difficult of circumstance. And at least we are able to tell our viewers that it's not easy when you have to run power lines 4 times the length from Apari to Gensan and replace 550 plus electric poles. But anyway, do keep on doing what you do best, and we hope to hear from you in the future. Thank you for joining us today, Suiee.
Thank you, Cito. And again, we ask for the understanding of our customers. Thank you, Cito, and I wish you and the viewers and listeners a belated Merry Christmas.
Okay, that's the spokesperson of Aboitis Power, Mr. Suiee Suarez, and I'm Cito Beltran, thanking you for joining us and praying that the Lord will bless and keep you safe from harm, especially during the New Year's celebration. Ingat-ingat lang po tayo sa mamam, sa barik, and let us spend the final days of of 2021 in grateful appreciation that we are alive and that we have all our hope in God. God bless you.